Okay, guys, so one of your assignments this week was a review assignment about dividing fractions by whole numbers. And a couple of you have asked how to do that, and I tried sending you some other videos, but that didn't help. So let's see if I can better explain that here. So these are the first three problems on that assignment. So if you want to get out your packets, that would be helpful. That way you can follow along and then you can keep going after we finish here. But what you notice is that each problem starts with a fraction and then is divided by a whole number. So once you figure out how to do them, you should be able to do all of them because the pattern doesn't change as far as how to do it. So remember, when you're dividing a fraction, you're actually multiplying by the reciprocal, which is the reverse. So I'll come back to that in a minute. It would be helpful if you rewrote, can you even see that? Yeah. Each problem and made your whole number into a fraction. And remember, in order to make your whole number into the fractions, one of the ways to do that is just to keep the whole number and then put it over 1. So we turn 8 into 8 over 1, and we turn 6 into 6 over 1, and we turn 4 into 4 over 1. Okay, so remember, when you have a reciprocal of something, you're flipping it so that the numerator becomes the denominator and the denominator becomes the numerator. So you leave the first fraction alone, and then you multiply by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal would be 1 over 8. And then you multiply straight across. So you get 1 over 16. And if you rewrite this one, you keep 1/4 the same, and then you multiply, and then you take the reciprocal of 6 over 1, and you get 1 over 6, and then you multiply straight across and get 1 over 24. So I'm going to give you a few seconds that will seem like an eternity to me because I'm talking to myself, but go ahead and give this last one a try on your own. Okay, so hopefully the first thing you did was you rewrote the first fraction. Don't do anything to it. Then you multiplied instead of dividing. And then instead of 4 over 1, you want to do 1 over 4. And now you're ready to just multiply fractions like you normally would. So 1 times 1 is 1. And 9 times 4 is 36. So because of the way this assignment is set up, all of your answers should end up with 1 over something. That's not true in the real world, but this is not the real world, ladies and gentlemen. This is just the assignment that I gave you. And since they're all set up the exact same way for practice, they'll all end up with 1 as the numerator and then a denominator. And some of you might have already noticed the trick, which is, as much as I would love for you to do this work because it's the right way to do it, some of you probably noticed a pattern early on while you were working on it, and you noticed that you just put 1 over this number times this number. And that's your answer. 1 over this number times this number. 1 over this number times this number. Now, you can do it that way. It just robs you of the joy of doing it the mathematical way. But it is important to know the actual way to do it so that when all the problems aren't the same, you know how to do it. So hopefully that helps, and good luck.